Hello everybody, welcome back to our Java tutorial for beginners. My name is Tesfaye. Today we are going to see the third and final example for while loop. We have seen some examples in our previous videos. If you haven't seen them, go back and have a look. Today we are going to see how we can use a while loop to calculate a number's factorial. I'm sure you know factorial. Factorial is a number that we multiply by a number minus itself, and then with all the numbers preceding that number. For example, if we calculate 5 factorial, we are multiplying 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 and times 1. The limit that to be used, or the control that be used, is that the number, the factorial, can't be 0, and because when it is 0, multiplying a number by 0 becomes 0, so that entails the factorial of every number gonna be 0, which is wrong. And then that the control in our while loop should limit that the number shouldn't be 0. That is the control. The progression is just 1 minus the previous number, and then we multiply that. We will see this in a code. Now let's create our class to use that. We'll call it factorial. Why not factorial? And let's use main method to calculate. So here we're gonna create all our code. For this one, I'm gonna use scanner. Scanner is a Java utility or Java functionality feature that takes user input from the users, store it in somewhere, and use that number rather than storing the variable that we're gonna use here, but it's gonna be just input from a user, and that we use that as an input. So because of this, I'm gonna use scanner functionality. So we need 3 variables here. We need define n, which is the number that we're gonna control the user input. This is a factorial that we're gonna calculate, and this is a j or I, whatever we can call that. We're gonna follow up with the progression. And then we as I said, we need scanner in equals new scanner. That's how we initialize that scanner. Okay, so it is system input, system in, and we scan this from a user, so it is not known, so we can import it from Java utility. Just right click on that, and it will be in, so that is automatically created now, and then the scanner is known to our code. And then we store anything we get from the user into this variable. Okay, and it is stored there. Now we can start with our code, but let's give initial numbers for this one. We could have said equals to anything we want to define, but let's do it here. So for the factorial, we said it shouldn't be less than 0, less than 1, so we initialize that. And this one, j, we're gonna give it 0, because we're gonna say factorial should not be 0, or should not be less than j. That's we're gonna see how I can define. So in while, this is the control now. J shouldn't be less than n. That means actually the factorial number shouldn't be less than 0. And then when it meets that criteria, we're gonna have a progression, increase j by 1, okay, and also multiply the factorial by, sorry, I was completely wrong. What we're gonna do is factorial should be increment as well by, but with multiplication being multiplied by j. When j is 0, then it will not fit to the while, and it will end there. When it is greater than, when it is less than 1, that will be interrupted. Sorry, this. So with this, we're gonna now we can print our input. We have everything that it will be calculated, it will be limited. The user will give us the number we're going to input, then that will be in the loop. So what we're going to get is the system printout, system dot out dot print. So we're gonna print whatever we like here, by the way, like let me say print. Why is this not working? Sorry, my mistake, because I didn't write anything that asks the user to insert the number, so the system can't say anything. I'm sorry about that. So system dot out, we're going to ask the user print, I'm going to say please enter a number. I completely forgot that, and then the user will give us the number. That's what is missing. That's why the system wasn't working. There. Now let's say 5 and enter. Now we got that print from that. Okay, so what this happened, we brought the scanner in, we defined our variables, 3 variables we use, we initialize them. Okay, and for n we got it from a user, and the user input stored there. Yeah, and then we use that control flow that the j should be less than 0, and then we progress and we multiply that, and just we print that. We can print that differently, but we can just, like, as you know, we can say like the result is something like that, factorial 5, something like that. So that's it for now. As usual, if you want to practice on this, you can download from at the end of this section. That's available to you. And thank you very much for being with me, and have a nice time. Bye bye.